What's up guys, this is guitar video lesson number 160, the song It's Your Thing by Walk the Moon. And first of all, our guitars are in standard tuning, so no worries there. So let's get started with the intro and verse right away. That is actually the whole intro and verse. At first I thought that there were some muted notes in between, but turns out that it's actually just a second guitar muting all of these strings and just strumming the rhythm, but we don't have to focus on that, so let's get into this melody. We start by putting our first finger onto the second on the fifth string, pick that once. Now third finger onto the fifth on the fifth string once. And second finger onto the fourth on the fifth string once. And don't forget to palm mute the strings in between each note, so use the palm of your right hand, put it down here on the strings after picking each note, and now we go back onto the second on the fifth string, go down, up, up, up. So down, up, up, up. Now fifth on the fifth again, and fourth on the fifth. But that is not the whole verse yet, because we get to some more riffs during the second and third verse, because now we go and so first we put our first finger onto the seventh over both third and second string. Pick those two strings together once, then slide up onto the eighth once, and ninth. And after having picked the ninth, we don't just stay there, but we slide down, like that. And the second new riff works like this. We put our second finger onto the ninth on the third string and our third finger onto the 10th on the second string. Pick those two strings together 3 times. Then we lift the third finger off and put our second finger over both third and second string and pick it once. And that is already the whole verse. During the first chorus we don't actually do that much, because we just go and so we start by putting our second finger onto the 9th on the second string and our third finger onto the 10th on the first string. Now pick those two together once. Now we lift the third finger off and put our second finger over both second and first string on the 9th now. Pick it once, and now we've only got our second finger on the second string again, and we add our first finger and put it onto the 7th on the first string. Now we slide up and we've got our first finger on the 12th of both first and second string now. And we've got our third finger on the 16th on the first string. Pick those two together once. Lift the third finger off, put your second finger onto the 14th on the first string. And only 12th. Just like that, and that is already the whole first chorus. Now let's get to the most interesting part of the chorus, which is of course this melody. We start by putting our first finger onto the 4th on the 3rd string. Pick it once. Now put your third finger onto the 6th on the 3rd string once. 4th once, 6th once. Now put your second finger onto the 5th on the 2nd string. We pick it once. Now we put our first finger back onto the 4th on the 3rd string. And now we need to go back onto the 6th on the 3rd string, but this time we can't use our third finger. because for reasons you will understand in a second, so we have to use our second finger. Because now we need our third finger to go onto the 7th on the 5th string. Now we go again with our second finger on the 6th, because now we use our third finger in order to go onto the 7th on the 2nd string and push it up till it sounds like the 9th. And now we go on to the 9th on the 1st string, pick it once, 7th on the 1st string once, 4th on the 1st string once, and 5th on the 2nd string once. In the end of the chorus we go. So we put our first finger onto the 7th on the 3rd string, pick that once, and then hammer the 3rd finger onto the 9th on the 3rd string. Now let's get to the last new riff of the song, which is the bridge, and that should sound like this. We start by putting our 3rd finger onto the 7th on the 5th string, and we pick that twice. Now we lift the 3rd finger off and put our 1st finger onto the 5th on the 5th string, pick that once, 7th once, 5th once. So empty 6th string, 1st finger onto the 4th on the 6th string, and hammer the 2nd finger onto the 5th. Now we put our 1st finger onto the 5th on the 5th string again, and pick that once. And then we repeat the whole thing. And after having done this twice, we don't go back onto the 7th on the 5th string, but we put our 1st finger over both 5th and 4th string on the 5th, and after having picked the 5th on the 5th string as we usually do, we pick the 4th string with the 1st finger on the 5th. And therefore, instead of picking the 7th on the 5th string twice, now we only pick it once. So except for that one exception, it's all the same, and that is already the whole song. I hope you guys liked this video. Leave a thumbs up if you did, helps me a lot. Keep on subscribing, and if you want to stay up to date on what's going to be new on the channel, and check out my Facebook page, link is down in the description. And if you want to get a sweet discount on all of the games for all of the consoles, then check out g2a.com, link is down there as well. And if you really want to support the channel, link to my Patreon page down there as well. And as always, I hope that I will see you next time.